is the Ministry of Information, J.R. Valray, and this is the Ministry of Information Podcast. You can subscribe at the Ministry of 411 Podcast on IG or the Ministry of Information Podcast on Patreon and YouTube. This is a podcast that's dedicated to culture. How did you get into medicine? Did that go along with you getting into the human rights movement?
Part of it did, because I wanted to serve the needs of the people, and I thought medicine would be a good way of doing it also.
To finances and crypto.
Now, decentralization is removing the middleman. It's removing big data. I want to send somebody to you want to send some money to me. We're going to take out the middleman here. We just need somebody to agree that you have what you have and I have what I have.
And how does that happen?
So there's something called
history, fitness, diet, and so many other things. Trail, get all the candy you want to eat and shit out, bro. Don't worry about it. Hey, hold up. You got 3 more summers of young. And then the 30, that's what it is. I'm old right now. Make sure you tap in or get left out. Subscribe. It's your girlfriend's favorite podcast, the Ministry of Information, with the People's Minister of Information, JR. Today, our guest is the legendary Tajay Massey, one piece of the Hieroglyphics crew, 1/4 of Souls of Mischief, as well as a business entrepreneurial legend in the Bay Area. What's up with you, man?
Man, chilling. Thanks for having me.
Man, we had to record a little bit later than we do usual because I just found out that you are a martial arts instructor.
Yeah. I teach kids over at the school's called Iron Wave.
What you teach?
Jiu-jitsu, traditional jiu-jitsu.
And how long you been doing it?
I've been doing it since 99, so about 22, 23 years, but off and on. I just recently got my black belt and started teaching. You know, before that, it was just more for just self-defense. And you know, we travel. We're in a group. We travel. We underground. We're not paying no extra dues to be oos. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do our own thing.
Right. So martial arts wise, I know you a very accomplished dude. You architect, legendary rapper, you know what I'm saying? Cannabis entrepreneur, all of that. What made you even pursue a black belt when you already had so many things that was legendary under your belt? What made you say, you know what, I'm gonna take this martial arts thing serious?
I just feel like, you know, doing things to completion. If you're gonna do it to completion. You don't have to be the best at it or whatever, but at least do it to completion, you know, because you can't even make an accurate assessment of something unless you know A through Z of it, right? And so, and then, you know, just the pain involved, like what you gonna go through all that pain for if you're not gonna go, you know, take it all the way to the final level. I think there's something I'm gonna continue to train for the rest of my life, you know. At my hotel, I'm about to set up a dojo there and have guys come out and you know, do seminars and all that. And I mean, I've been fortunate, you know, to be part of a lineage, you know, coming from Dr. Moses Powell and Professor Florendo Visitacion, all these people who then taught my teachers, Anton Muhammad and Ikwe Matthews, who then, you know, it's like a lineage of not only brothers, Muslims, et cetera, who have been doing it for a long time. So it's to take up the mantle of that too. I think, you know, self-defense is extremely important. You know, I got daughters, so they all had to go through it because I got daughters in the town, you know, like
they gotta protect themselves.
Yes, sir.
So I know that they're commemorating Bruce Lee this year in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Who is Bruce Lee to the black community, particularly in the Bay Area? You're a legendary rapper, been doing it forever. Bruce Lee had dojos right here in Oakland. I mean, who is Bruce Lee?
Yeah, when you say legend, Bruce Lee is, you know, truly legendary. I mean, it's unfortunate that he had this early demise, but I think, how can I explain it? Bruce Lee, for him to have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jim Kelly in his movies, you feel what I'm saying? Though, like that put him down. You know, right. Like we was like, oh yeah, he's around here, right? So he's always been like top. And then he was
Philosophically, though, because I know you a reader and all of that. Philosophically, who was Bruce Lee?
I think Bruce Lee is someone who took from the greatest and made it even better. And by refining, by taking things out, and being more direct as far as his style and all that kind of stuff. And I think as far as philosophy, that's awesome. It's like a Porsche. Every year that they make a new Porsche, it's fewer parts than the year before. And that's their whole thing, is making it more efficient. And I think his style is efficient, and he did that by first being a student, a really good student, and then saying, okay, we're throwing this out, we throw that out. And that's very similar to the style that I study of Sanuka Jiu-Jitsu. It's basically, we're not going to go through the kitchen to get to the living room, man. If the fight's in the living room, do your living room thing,
So how important is a mentality? I mean, it's not just punches and kicks. It's a mentality, you saying.
Yeah, I think the mentality is even more important. As I grow older and the world gets wilder, I mean, first of all, cats don't be having no hands out here. And that's not like I'm some tough guy. I'm just saying it's not an option as much as it was when we were little. When we were little, we squabbed all the time, like best friends, et cetera. Like, what you want to do?
Right.
But as I grow older, I feel that my mentality is easier to project than actually the physicality. For the first several years that I was taking, I would actually have to yoke fools up. I find myself getting into fewer and fewer conflicts because of my mentality, not because of my skill. My skill is light years beyond what it was when I was putting hands on cats or getting hands put on me, et cetera. It's just that my mental, my ability to assess problems, my ability to understand, like, okay, this gentleman is just frustrated, or this guy is just loaded, or, oh, he didn't see that we was over here like this.
You have
like,
more discernment.
More discernment. So I think that is really the martial artist mentality. When I think about masters know how to de-escalate without hurting you. That don't mean without putting hands on you, but without hurting you.
I always thought that was interesting, that the more skilled people get, it seemed like the calmer they get.
There's a confidence that comes with competence, right? There's a confidence that comes with ability, but also you recognize like what you can do to a person. We don't really learn how to fight. We maybe watch boxing, or we maybe learn, you have to fight to learn how to fight. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of times as you get into the sort of upper echelon, I'm a first degree. I'm not saying this like I'm just jiu-jitsu man, Mm-hmm. But as what I knew as a green belt versus what I knew as a purple belt or a brown belt to a black belt, the things that I'm learning, like just tiny tweaks of the same techniques, make them way more effective, but also way more dangerous. And it's like, hey, I might win the fight and then end up in jail and have to fight some more. Right. But the discernment, understanding what your skills are capable of, understanding energy, because everything, dance, music, rap, fighting is all about energy. It's an energy exchange, right? Mm-hmm. Fighting is just an energy exchange that usually ends with one person's energy being neutralized. I mean, that's the same with dance and rap and,
that's true.
Fencing and all these different things.
That's
so
true. I
think that the deeper levels of understanding the martial arts are energy flow and understanding how and when to give and take this type of energy. And I think Bruce Lee mastered that. Like he said, he's not trying to punch your face, he's trying to punch through your head. And he was able to really channel that, when he in his punches, et cetera, and kicks, et cetera. And so to me, just watching him, I mean, it's like a dance. Then he also had just flavor, like he was a fly dude, like not when he was, fighting, like when he was just fitted, just regularly, you could tell he was out here probably, out on San Pablo on the strip,
Well, they got the picture of him DJing and all that.
Exactly. So he's, I think, an icon as much for his skill as for his personal style, his personal philosophy, and him actually taking something that was really held secret, they was like, yo, we don't be teaching them this, let them play with them guns and all that,
Right.
And opening it up to the world, and really probably the biggest marketer of martial arts in martial arts history, right? But as far as known history,
right.
I think martial arts was probably big when you was really having to kill people with your hands.
Right.
But then as far as modern history, celebrity and just like, it's not just the fighting, it was the philosophy.
Right.
And then the movies and all that type, like he took it to another level,
Is he hip hop? Is Bruce Lee hip hop?
I would say Bruce Lee is hip hop in that he took something and made it an international phenomenon. And that's the same thing kids from the Bronx did in the 70s. And I would also say that martial arts is hip hop. Like all the movements and breakdancing and all that, that's all martial arts based. So they intersect, you know. But right, Bruce Lee is a phenomenon unto himself. But his philosophy, the fact that he took something and made it a worldwide phenomenon, and the fact that the movements, I think all of those things kind of intersect with hip hop.
So I know that you are also involved in being a cannabis entrepreneur. You introduced this new business, Cali Baba, and it's, I guess, modeled after Alibaba. For people that know anything about Alibaba, which is a major place where people buy stuff on the internet and they get stuff from China. What is Cali Baba, and what made you put a subscription-based cannabis situation together?
All right. Well, you know, Cali Baba's eventual goal is to be like Alibaba. So I want to be able to sell dehumidifiers, grow lights, you know, everything. But, you know, there are federal restrictions and things of that nature that make it so that, hey, we're going to deal with California right now. So right now, our first product that we're marketing is this subscription box. And the reason I did is because I got homies, you know, I got friends in the industry, and their main issue with delivery, besides robbery, is they got cats sitting around all day waiting on knocks, you know? So for me, I was like, look, let's take it. Let's deliver one day a month. And I collect hot sauce. Of all the things to collect, I collect hot sauce.
So you got hot sauce from all around the world?
That's what you can't really travel with it right at post 9/11. So I have people send it to me, and my fans be bringing it to me. You know, if somebody want to give me a gift, hot sauce.
Okay.
So my lady had bought me a hot sauce subscription. And so we had sat like, you know, and I'm like, every month I get it. I'm taking pictures. I got to try this. Oh, I'm putting this up, et cetera. And so it's somewhere between that, the hot sauce subscription and just understanding the economics of, if you got 10 people sitting around at $20 an hour, you know what I'm saying? You're spending $200 an hour, and it might be dry, you know, like all day, you know? So you spent, you know, $1,600 on this 8-hour shift of these 10 guys and 0 knocks, you know? So my thing was, let's do it this way. It's heavily discounted. So we do basically for $100 plus tax. Tax is about 40%, which is crazy. They're killing us out here, right? So about $140, you get about $300+ worth of product. But because I don't have any overhead aside from my 1 or 2 drivers that are we deliver everywhere from South Bay to Vallejo. We might move out to Fairfield soon or whatever, but just the Bay Area, right? I got 2 drivers that can cover that entire territory in 2 days.
So what kind of stuff do you get in the box? Do you get flowers? Or what do you get?
So you go to calibaba.com and you put your preferences. So we have, 6 categories, edibles, vapes, tinctures and all that kind of stuff. What else? Flour, pre-rolls, and topical, so what you put in what you like. And then we basically pick of all the products we have. It's new products every month too. And make a box specifically for you, but you don't get to pick what it is. We're going to start that at like an a la carte menu soon, but right now I say you put what the things you like, and you get probably between 5 and 7 items per month.
So is this the scale? So like if I like the Big Chief, I can get the Big Chief box, versus if I'm just a novelty smoker who smokes at parties, then I just need a few pre-rolls. Like, is there a distinction between, or is it just one subscription box?
Right now, the box is different. If it's 100 customers, it might be 15 different styles of box. Okay. So if you're just like, I want to blow, you're probably gonna get a quarter of this, an eighth of that, pack of 10 pre-roll, like it's going to be all tree, but it's not going to be a zip, because we're trying to get the variety out there. And then when you like something, hey, let us know, and we put it on the a la carte menu. And our a la carte menu is probably making like a couple dollars per unit. Like it's really almost like a wholesale. It's like going to Costco, right?
Right. But
it works because we pay our delivery people well. We don't have a bunch of them. And everybody who orders, that's what we order for the month. We're not sitting around on a bunch of product, So it's a great model. I love it. We're trying to expand this year just in the Bay, and then expand territory after that. And it's also, we got a Cali Baba lifestyle brand. So we're going to start throwing parties like get an Airbnb and just have a cannabis chef. You know, so our top subscribers or our first subscribers just come, kick it, maybe put some cots in there because after you eat, you ain't gonna. I'm talking about with enhanced food. You know, with
infused.
Yeah, infused food, right? Or you know, we're gonna start throwing like beach parties and you know, even at Hyro Day, you know, we're gonna put some golden tickets in there with VIPs. Coachella coming up, I think we got a couple tickets in there. We're about to just drop in random. You know, so it's we're trying to build it as a lifestyle brand as we work our way up to being sort of like the Alibaba of Tree. And that's a big jump, but I've made a lot of inroads in the industry for a long time, you know,
Right.
for a while.
Right. Been at it a minute.
Pre-rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know the guys who are manufacturing the LEDs. I know people who are building the trimming machines, and you know, like I'm an architectural designer, so I you know, you go up and down around here, I've probably designed 20,000-30,000 lights worth of builds, you know.
Well, that even bring me to my next question, just to get into your next profession or one of your next professions.
That's a man.
Yeah. So we gonna get into the hip hop, but I wanted to talk about more than the hip hop because I know a lot of people talk to you about the hip hop.
I appreciate
But
it.
after being a legendary hip hop artist for decades, you decided to go to UC Berkeley and graduate. What made you want to go to UC Berkeley when people know you in countries all around the world for making music? What made you want to go back to school and humble yourself to a certain extent?
Well, all right. So, you know, my first rap money, I went to Stanford for undergrad, right? So I started at Stanford in 93. I actually, you know, probably heard my song on the radio first in the dorm, you know, and I took some time off and finished, but I graduated in 97. But I was at a party in Europe at some hotel. It was an after party to one of our shows. Beautiful, not a hotel, a museum. Cracking. And this was 2008, right? Something like that. So I was maybe 33, and I looked around. I'm like, I know this, you know, person in here. You feel what I'm saying? Though, at 33, you think you're old, right? 33 is now. You're like, oh, this is a youngster, right? I'm just now getting to the good part, right? But and then I saw the movie The Wrestler. You ever seen the movie The Wrestler? So The Wrestler is a movie with Mickey Rourke in it, where he plays a wrestler past his prime, and it's just about how he's addicted to pills and. You know, he's doing little wrestling expos in elementary schools, you know, and trying to sell his vintage dolls and stuff. And a combination of those two things and just me thinking about my mortality and I want to be something more than what I am. I think that's made me say, you know, this is what I literally said to myself. I said, if I was a billionaire, what would I do? And I was like, I design buildings, right? Schools, all that kind of stuff. So at that point, at the party, this all went on at the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see The Wrestler at the party. I saw that prior to the party or whatever.
But you had this whole talk with yourself at the party.
At the party. Just, you know, I might have been, you know. You know what I'm saying? No, we was in Switzerland or Sweden or something, you know.
Right.
So they had medical grade, you know.
Right.
But I had a camera on me. It was a digital camera. And I went out and started taking pictures of the buildings I think it was at the Guggenheim or something like that. And that turned into my first portfolio that I sent into Berkeley and ended up getting in. And so to me, you know, to be knowledgeable is the highest form of wealth. Healthy, let me draw back on that. To be healthy is the highest form of wealth, right? But to be healthy and brain dead, you're useless, right? Unless you are, you know, human cannonball or,
right.
You know what I'm saying? No, like something like that. So to be maybe being knowledgeable is the second highest form of wealth. So it wasn't humbling to me I didn't have to humble myself to go gain more knowledge, especially because it's technical knowledge that now enables me to, you know, build schools and grows and restaurants and all these types of things. So it's just an exciting another chapter in my life. And it doesn't fight music.
Were you lazy, or did you find yourself lazy, or did you find yourself when you were in school after so many years, were you feeling good to be in a different environment that you were challenging yourself?
Oh,
or
man.
were you kind of lazy where you was like, damn, I ain't been doing this in a while?
Grad school is different, man, because you're focused on the one thing you're doing, right? So it's what I wanted to do. So it's always, and even now, I'm saying I learn something new every day. I literally learned something new today at the city of Hayward about ADUs in Hayward, you know? Every single day I learned something new from my profession. So it was exciting to me. right? I mean, my first day of school, my mom brought me a peanut butter and honey and banana sandwich like my first day of preschool. She came up there and was my favorite sandwich when I was a little kid. She brought it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, we back, we back." You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's crazy. You know, that's why I was 35 at the time, and it was exciting, and then also I was married at the time, and I had a family. You know, I had 3 daughters, 1 on the way. You feel me? And so you're not gonna be in there lollygagging, right? You broke your bread. I paid for college cash. You know, it's just like show, boom. I mean, we actually, Berkeley had us do a show. So, I got a few of them bands back during my time there. But, I just was tearing it off. So I was extremely focused. So it didn't really, and then architecture is something where they want you there 16 hours a day, 10 to 16 hours a day. It's when the lights go out in the medical school and the lights go out in the dental school, architecture lights still on. Like they don't turn off. So
what have you done as an architect since you graduated? What have you been involved in, and what's the top thing you've done?
Ooh.
Or the top thing you've designed that you're like, I designed
that. I did Red Bay, the roastery. I did that. I did Lila's Cupcaking. So Casual's younger sister has a bakery company. Now she's on I think her 5th. So I did cupcaking at both of hers in Berkeley. Now she has a 3rd in Berkeley. I didn't do that one. And I also did the one in Swans Market. I think my most proud, I did 4 houses over on 14th and Peralta. So 3 of them were remodels and then 1 was a ground up. And I think I'm most proud of that because I think I put a brand new house, invigorated that corner. I think it's a hair-on spot over there or something. Right. But I invigorated that corner, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I did the house in a style that I think still says West Oakland.
Right.
I mean, there's certain parameters you have to because it's a historical area. I mean, there's so much history over there. But I think I did it modern and saucy enough that somebody, when they get home, they're like, "Woo, I'm home."
So it's were they Victorians?
It's Victorian but modern. So, which means boxy, right? What I mean? You see the Victorians now, and instead, even all the condos that are coming up, the windows come out. They got bay windows, but instead of them being that diamond, diagonal, they're boxy. But I just think I don't have a favorite, but I think to me that was like, yo, I'm in Oakland building homes, invigorating neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? For black folks. I built these for black folks.
So what is your style? Is it a minimalist style?
My style.
Are you like minimalist or what kind is it? A Victorian? Is it?
I unfortunately, and this is the part about being like a guppy in this, is that I don't feel I have a style yet. And that's one of the scariest things to actually be. Like imagine being a rapper and you don't got a style.
That's what I was going to compare it to.
That's I haven't not had a style as a rapper since the 80s.
Right. So
to be grown and amongst people who got, their philosophy, hey, I look at a building and I say, hey, okay, that's a Calatrava. Okay, this is Renzo Piano. Like you can look at it and just be like, I know who did that, or I know who they bid it from, right? I'm not there yet. But I think that as this is something you don't get good at till you're in your 60s. That's what they say.
What do you mean you got to have like 15, 20 years under you?
I'm 7 years deep now, and I don't have a style, put it that way. And it's not because I'm not a student. I'm probably building more houses and places. Like I team up, let me rewind. People who work for big firms, they might work on one building for 7 years. It's a huge building. That's a legacy building, gonna be there 100 plus years, but they did just do bathrooms for 7 years.
Wow.
I worked for a firm, Sabi Design Build, and there's a brother from Jamaica, Andre King, who he actually did Kingston 11, a bunch of other stuff around here. But I have to do everything. They was just like, okay, there you go, do it. So I know how to do everything from the dirt to the top of the roof, which is a blessing. But because I'm inputting so much information, it's hard sometimes to have the opportunity to sit back and be like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, it will be tight. Right. And also and then also the nature of our business is the client comes with what they want, and then you kind of gotta not sneak,
but embellish,
and tell them like, you know what, I chose that, but what about this? Because this it flows better, and you have to explain that in a drawing to people who are not, they don't look at drawings to see buildings. You know,
Right.
as long as you work in the architectural field, you look at a drawing and be like, okay, it turns into 3D in front of you. So I haven't had the time to sit. Let's go back to the Kung Fu thing. You know, you get whooped, right? Then you go on that mission, right? Where you by yourself and you punching the waterfall.
I'm not never
you know
gonna
what I'm saying?
get
You
whooped
lifting
again.
them rocks. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? No, you got the old man looking at you like, good. You know, but I haven't had the time to go into that chamber where I'm actually just doing my thing. And I think as I'm trying to amass enough paper basically to have that time. And then I think when I come out of there, because it just clicks, right? It's the same with freestyling or whatever, right? At a certain point, you be like, boy, I'm spitting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think I have to be able to sit and just immerse myself in that. We're doing it with the hotel. You know, me and 12s, I designed a new studio. We designed new cabanas. And I think that
You talking about your hotel in Panama?
Yeah,
'Cause I was gonna get into that next.
I wasn't trying to segue. You know,
Hey, the man got a hotel in Panama. What city is it in?
It's in Lagartero, but it's right next to Santa Catalina.
And you designed this stuff in the hotel?
So I bought it functional, and then we're now, so it's called Hibiscus Garden, and now we're going to transition to have a venue, a full scale recording studio, Neve board, SSL board, all that, called Tropical Sounds. And actually, we're having our first big event in the fall in November. The first Tropical Sounds Festival, and I'm trying to get everybody to come down, and it's on the beach. You know, I got horses, and the pool will be done in a couple weeks. So
All this is at your hotel, not around the hotel.
no, it's
This
in the
is your-
hotel.
At the
Yeah,
hotel,
I got
the
that.
beach and
The
the
horses. I got
And the
3
chef.
of my own, but 10 access. I got an awesome chef. But we're building the studio on the grounds, and then I'm building an outdoor venue on the grounds.
But you was also telling me you was trying to make it affordable.
Oh yeah, it's still gonna be 30. You know, the rooms start around 30. It might go to $1, but it's for Panamanian. You know, they're not getting. The majority of my clients, of my guests, are from Panama, and I'm not trying to come to another country. You know what I'm saying? Though, as a man from an American, you know what I'm saying? Though, and then make something that's not accessible to people there.
Right.
You know, like we've all seen that happen in our community right now in the town, right?
Gentrification,
and it don't feel good,
colonization.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not going to try to be, because I have American paper, you know,
Keep them out of
go
that
out
stuff.
there. Yeah. So I'm always going to make it affordable. You know, the studio is going to have regular studio rates, but we also 12s is building a training program where he's going to be training engineers down there so they can do their thing. I'm always have local talent come be able to record. I want to start
Talking
hosting.
about DJ 12s.
Yeah,
From
12.
here.
Yeah. 12. Yeah. So we partnered up on the Tropical Sounds thing. We about to start. We're gonna break ground in March, which is in a week, and then by November we're gonna have a big festival. I don't know if I can tell the lineup yet, so I don't want to get myself in trouble.
But it's gonna be big though, because
gonna
I
be
mean,
yanking.
people
Yeah.
know that High Road Day, y'all done had everybody from Juvenile to Pete Rock to the Cool to Yuckmouth to Griselda.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm just saying it's gonna be that type of mix up.
You know what? I think for the first one we're gonna concentrate on reggaeton, island music. You see what I'm saying? Because we have
That's
to
the
be
area.
conscious of that area, right?
Right.
But as we move, I think hopefully we'll probably be able to get 5 or 6. You know, the venue holds about 5,000, right? So I'm trying to get, but I don't have accommodations for that as far as sleeping. So my neighbor's got an airstrip. We try to maybe make his airstrip into parking / airstrip. You know, like, and just really make it so that when you come down there, you can go into town, kick it, scuba dive, you know, swim with the orcas, swim with the whale sharks and all that kind of stuff, and then come to where we at and listen to some slap. And
So
you
there's
know,
some like the hip hop rumble in the jungle.
this one is going to be Tropical Sounds Festival. Yeah. And then I think as people get used to it, and especially because you can come record, right? So if we have this high level studio, you know, 12s work with everybody,
Right.
you know, not just rappers, but like reggae dudes, EDM, all that. So as people come record, then it's like, well, hey, we got this venue. Why don't you test out some of the stuff there? See how, and then, you know, also people come record, they want to be comfortable. I don't want fools to come stay a month, 2 months. So bring your whole family. You know, I have my chef bring you, you know, a spread 2-3 times a day. You know, come record, get away from everything. And I'm in a city, when I say Santa Catalina, it's 450 people in the city. I'm saying if Michael Jordan was walking down the street, or who would, you know, Beyonce or Jay-Z, they might be like, oh, you look like Jay-Z. But they're not going to be like, oh, yeah.
Right.
You know, they're going to be like, oh, what you want to rent a boat? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want to have it so that people can have their privacy. They can live like regular people.
So it's really rural.
Oh, it's I'm way out. I got a crocodile. I got 2 crocodiles.
You could touch them.
I wouldn't. I feed them. I feed them every now and then. You know, like I feed them. Yeah, I throw them a little lobster, little chicken.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Matilda. We ain't named her man yet. He the little,
He's still hyphy.
Yeah, but Matilda come fuck with us every now and then. She lay her babies in my. There's a river around it, so she lays the babies in the river, and we just throw her a little. You know, we have a restaurant, so we throw her all the scraps.
So you got a crocodile that be having babies at the hotel. That
I know it sounds wild.
This ain't no normal Oakland type shit. So
she cool though. She fuck with it.
Well, let's keep it even moving, man. You are involved with your crew. Hyro, y'all own a building in Oakland.
Yeah.
Y'all was one of the first hip hop independent groups on the internet, and now y'all one of the first hip hop groups that has the Hyro coin. What is the Hyro coin, and why did you guys start a coin?
Well, Casual's been on crypto. Casual put me up on crypto. He put me up on what is that called? The Bitcoin. I think it was either 70 or 700, right, at the time. And I was like, you know what I'm finna do? I'm finna buy this building and do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the building's probably worth a ticket now. If I would have took his, I'd probably have 8-figure money. If I'd have just took the money that I put down on the building and bought the Bitcoin, even with the dip, I'd have 8-figure money, tens of millions. You know, so Cash put that in my ear. You know, and
that was
as your brother.
early.
This, but it wasn't that long ago. But it was a while. You know, it was when it was only $70 or $700, whatever. It's $40,000 now, right?
Right.
So Casual been on it. So he was like, man, we need to do a coin. And he started it, I think, in 2011 or 2013 or something like that. But getting it so that we don't want to be seen as scammers. We don't want anybody wallet to get yapped, none of that kind of stuff, right? So getting it so that the security was straight, the use case was straight, all these types of things took several years, but he started it several years ago. And then I think it was either 2016 or 2013. But we unveiled it last December, and basically HyroCoin, or its $bar, right? Bar is basically a coin that we're trying to create a DAO, a DAO, right? Don't make me lie and think it's digital something. I don't, you know, DAO, organization, you know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
DAO, where basically the people who hold HyroCoin, I mean, you can hold it and make money off the, you know, the same way you hold dollars or hold gold or hold, you know, Aetna stock or whatever, right? So you can make it that way. But also, people who hold HyroCoin will be part of this DAO, and it's a DAO that is basically an endowment for the arts. So we want to make it so we can do not even loans, micro grants to people involved in any form of art. So say it's a martial art class and they need gis. Okay, you put your thing in, and you basically, all the people who hold HyroCoin, including yourself, you know, you put it up and they vote and say, hey, these kids need gis. And it's always going to be, damn, I should be more prepared about this, but it's a certain percentage of the thing. So hopefully this thing grows so big that, okay, say we have a billion or something like that, it's going to be 250 million that's just dedicated to arts programs. And we were trying to make it so it's self-perpetuating, right? So the blockchain can keep going on, and the more you hold it, the more scarce it is, the higher the value is. But since you can break it up into fractions, right? Right. You can get a small amount of HyroCoin, have a good idea, and fools be like, yeah, let them get them gis. But it's any type of art. So you want to put on a comedy show. If you need spray paint for your graffiti, it's not just bankrolling people's records, right? You know, I like to say, hey, if there's some little kids in Sri Lanka, right, that need tutus for their ballerina slippers, you know, things like that.
So it's going to be international. It's not even just
the blockchain is international. That's the whole point of crypto, is that, you know.
Well, I'm not talking about the transaction.
Oh, you're talking about
you guys funding projects all over the world. Like,
yeah,
initially, that's
absolutely.
The initial plan, is to fund stuff all over the world.
Absolutely, because the dollar goes far, right? You know, 300 here is not 300 in Mexico or you know, Panama or
Haiti,
you know,
Africa,
wherever. Yeah. So the goal is to make it so that we have a strong currency or whatever it is, and then we can chip it off to cats who could do a lot more with it than us just, you know, out here, you know.
For people that don't see the difference, what is the difference between just going to a foundation and asking for a grant or asking the Hyro for a grant? What's the difference? And how do you feel like this makes things more efficient?
Let's start with who owns the foundations, right?
Corporations, that's not in our interest.
So all the holders of HyroCoin own the coin. So we're all making decisions, right? And it's not something where we put it up and every single member has a vote, but you have the option to.
Right.
So you get to choose where your money goes. Even when you make the donations, charitable donations, half of that is going to bureaucrats, right? It's going to what we call it, the nonprofit industrial complex.
Right.
Ours is direct. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's not. Hyro's not deciding. We only own 10% of this whole thing because we didn't want to make it so that people think that we're trying to enrich ourselves off of somebody else's art, right?
Right.
So the people own it. So that would be first of all. Second of all, same question: who owns these foundations? It's a Soldier Boy meme that I think that explains who owns these foundations, but I ain't gonna get into that because I'm not trying to alienate nobody. Right. Just look up Soldier Boy and saltines. Anyways, so we gotta we
clear.
Keep it 100, right? Right. So if this is open to everybody, not old money, not new money, not big money, whatever, right? So there's that, and people are gonna have equal say based on their participation in this thing. And then third is just like, how can I explain it? If we have something that is dedicated, the whole point of HyroCoin Bar, aside from people being able to ride the waves and make money trading, is it's an endowment for the arts. So hopefully it'll last way long, just like hopefully Hyro Day will last way after we're passed, right? Our kids are gonna have to hold the mantle. It ain't about Hyro performing. It's never been about Hyro performing, right? We do 10, 15 minutes. It's always about pushing the art. So if we have something that is strictly focused on art, right? Hopefully we don't just get investors who are just trying to get their paper. Hopefully we get artists and people who love art and a community that is serious about that. So at least the people who are deciding on your project and the validity of your project and whether or not they're going to promote it are not deciding based on they're going to make some money off of it or based on they know this person or whatever. They're deciding based on the merit of the art. So you're looking for a real ideological buy-in. Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, that would be the only reason to hold it, aside from if you're doing it as an investment vehicle, which you can. I hope people do that too, because the hope is that the value skyrockets because the more scarce it becomes, the higher the value becomes. Right. So, but I would say that's the main thing, right? Who's holding it, which is everybody, right? It's available to everybody. Who's holding, which is everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. And also that it's going to be lovers of the arts, patrons. You become a patron of the art. You become a Guggenheim, or you see what I'm saying? Without
become a gatekeeper, without being oppressive with it.
Without that, and also because where does most of that money? Where does it come from?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying though, and that's this money comes from the people who are supporting it. Right. And I mean, get your paper, however, and hopefully, these people who do have these foundations, whether it's JP Morgan, all these big money people. I mean, there's probably a trail of blood behind a lot of it. However, I think the further you get away from that initial crime that took you to get it, their descendants are at least trying to rectify it by giving away. And I don't think
or you can see it another way. They're protecting their fortune through the tax sheltering, and public relations
and PR, right? Mm-hmm. So this is not something that there's a crime behind. It didn't even start
from that,
right? There's nothing. There's a crime behind it, right? It's just, hey, we created this. We created it for other people. We've been independent, right? We've been independent longer than we've been anything,
right?
So it's not for us to generate money for our projects,
right?
It's for other people to generate, and it's about art. It's not just about, martial art, visual art,
right.
Comedy, whatever. It's not just about rap, hip hop, etc., which is our art. But we're not trying to force that on everybody. Whoever loves it.
As we can see, you're not just a one-trick pony. I mean, as we were talking about in this interview. But so you got the Rap Noir, and you also got Clear Label.
Yeah.
And then you also have Hyro Imperium that you're a part of. Yeah. Why you got 3 labels?
Well, actually, Rap Noir is on Clear Label, right?
Oh,
so I put it out on Clear Label. But the reason I separated is because I got 10 partners with Hyro Imperium. And I think Hyro Imperium is a brand that, hey, I was the CEO of the company for 7 years, and I have a certain, every CEO has a style, just like a coach or whatever, right? Everybody's got a style and a vision. And in my estimation, certain things that I had in my vision, you know what I'm saying, though, whether it's the D-Lo, Beta Weta, deep rooted, PTB, all that, may not have fit everybody's vision, and we are a team, right?
Right.
So I can't be oppressive in trying to push my thing. Same with the hierarchy, whatever, right? One person is not going to just guide everything, right?
Right.
So it was important to me to be able to give a voice to the young folks around the town who like, I knock gangster shit in my car.
Right.
I'm driving. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I know it's we're in the world. You know, not that's all. Sometimes I play some jazz.
Right.
I'm taking a nice little stroll. But if I'm, I got to zip through the town and get through these back roads and all
That's
that kind of
what's going
stuff.
on out in the
Boom,
streets.
I'm
Right.
slapping some shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear something like "We Ain't Listening," in fact, "We Ain't Listening," for instance, by Beat Weeda, I heard that song. I was like, I was with some work. We was rolling up. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling. And I heard that, and I was like, who is this?
Right.
Like when I hear certain songs, I'm just like, oh yeah, I got to put this out. This,
I help inspire that song.
I felt they would say, because he's militant, right? I could believe it. But
I actually
when
spoke on the end of that song.
That's you?
That's me. When it's Jay Stalin and Beat Weeda, and then I did the outro to the song.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
See,
And I told
learn
Beta-
something to do it at all times.
I told
yeah.
Beat and Stalin, y'all got to do something to support the Oscar Grant rebellion.
Yeah.
And then that came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that feeling that the song gave me, you know what I'm saying? When I heard it, like, oh, this is scary. You know what I'm saying? No, like if this was playing in the background and there was 3 guys walking behind me and this was playing, I'd speed my pace up. That's the feeling that I like to get from rap.
Would you say that that's that fuck the police type of? It was that fuck the police when the NWA did it. It was that type of vibe for the people that never heard the song.
To me, like first time I heard Dope Man or Gangsta or something like that, same thing. Like, oh yeah, they not gonna like this. Them people are not gonna like this. Like, so, but that's my vision.
Right.
Hyro is we multifaceted. A+ is on the spiritual town hype. Pep Love is.
Right. Y'all got a lot.
Everybody
of
got their own
personalities.
thing. Casual, it's all different directions. So I didn't want to pull that in that direction. So I did it,
But
on my own.
a lot of people didn't know that you did help. We not just talking. You did help D-Lo.
Yeah.
You did help Beat Weeda. You did help Styling. A lot of stuff was going on in the Hyro building. It wasn't just Hyro.
Oh, yeah, no, it was-
the whole bottom floor
No,
was gangster rap.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The Hyro lab was at the top
Yeah.
and stuff. But I mean, I'm just describing it for the people that's not in
Yeah,
Oakland
no,
and
it
didn't
was
know
it was,
what
it
was
was
going
definitely
on.
Death Row North over there, right?
That's exactly that's exactly what it was. But I mean, I just wanted to give you your flowers on that because a lot of people didn't know you was one of the businessmen that were behind that was spearheading the rebirth of what Fab and them have been calling New Oakland.
Yeah.
You kind of helped.
I mean,
to
New
rebirth
Oakland,
that.
that's the Northeast West, right? That's
Right.
Fab, Stalin, and Beta, right? Even that, like to me, I think my best role where I'm at my best is as a facilitator. So even as a designer, right, I'm facilitating somebody else's dream, and maybe that's why I haven't gotten to the point where I have my own style, because I like facilitating somebody else's dream into manifestation in the real world. And so I feel like I don't mind that role. Like as far as PTB and Clear Beat and all that, like J-Mo, for instance, right? He's the tip of the spear, right? Like
Shout out to Jay.
he's gonna be the first guy over the hill, even if he hears the shots, right? They that way, let's go.
Right.
That way.
Right.
I'm gonna be like, yes, we're flying in air support.
Right.
Yeah. Where'd you say? Yeah, I got your coordinates. Fire mission coming through.
Right,
You guys be safe out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to facilitate and help. When it comes to my music, of course, that's this is my music. That's my baby or whatever, right? So I got to raise it and set it out how I need to. But as far as that, it's never been for me to be the forefront. Shit, I'm not a forefront. I'm probably a better soldier than leader, but I know that, and I think that is probably what helps me. Because even with Cali Baba, I got a couple business partners, but I'm not about the concept I thought and all this, but I'm not about to go against my business partners when they,
But nobody would ever hear you say that. I mean, you are definitely one of the lyrical kingpins. I mean, I definitely don't see a slouch in Souls of Mischief, but Tajay's verse is definitely one of the anticipated ones when Souls of Mischief, you hear a new soul song. So I'm saying you've been a star in the group since at least 93 till infinity. And as I'm pointing things out of all the things that you involved in, I haven't even got to all of them, but I mean, how do you not see yourself as the Allen Iverson or the Steph Curry of this? How do you take a background position? Like, what's going on in your head when the spotlight seems like it's all on you?
I would say this is the best way to put it is to face the brain. You feel what I'm saying? Like the face, not the brain. You feel? I mean,
That's a great point.
you're you, right? I see you, and that's JR, but it's a lot going on behind that face that ain't.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? So I understand my position like that. You know, as far as okay, I might have to give the intro to the song. I might have to talk in between, but what's going on back here is as far as I'm talking about now. Other people, you know, are pulling the string, and I mean, with our music, of course, we do our own thing. But even that, like Souls of Mission has solo projects because we want to be like, no, let me. I want to play bass on this one, you know, or let me play keys. But I'm not, as far as putting the shows together, choruses, all that kind of stuff. I'm definitely calling the homies, like even for my own stuff. Like, bro, what you think I should do on this? You know, because I got a cold ass team. So imagine even if I wouldn't even put myself as Steph, right? You know, that's got to be Dale, right, or Casual, right?
Okay.
Got to be Dale or Casual, right?
Were you Clay?
I don't even think I'm Clay, so that's got to be Dale or Casual, right? So
Okay,
there we go.
Gary Payton?
There's Steph or Clay, right? You know,
Like Gary Payton Jr. now?
Yeah. You know, somebody. I'm more like
Or Draymond that just supports.
support, yeah, and also like open things up. Like, hey, like some paper over there, bro. Go get. Look. I'm gonna hold this. I'm a. You know. Take that, you know what I'm saying, though? So I might be what they call it, like a floor general.
Okay.
You know, what's the brother's name? His people don't like him as a person, but what's the guy's name? He does the insurance commercials. Shorter brother. He's not.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Paul helped make others great, right? You know, and
Right.
to a large extent.
Right.
And that's all I really want to do. I enjoy the accolades and I enjoy doing my thing, but my thing is all just for my personal enjoyment. But I want to see all my partners rich. Like, oh, what's that? What is that? Ooh, I ain't never seen one of those. You know what I'm saying, though?
Well, let me even get into one more thing. I remember I had been shot recently and I was just hanging out downtown and I was actually limping around one of the first few things I went to, and y'all started High Road Day. And I just happened to be in the area when you started High Road Day. How did that start? And I just wanted to salute y'all because as far as I know, that's the only festival that's ran by a hip hop group that runs their own hip hop festival that's world renowned. How did High Road Day start? And you know, what was y'all's original vision and what did it turn out to be?
So one day a fan was online and was like 9/3, September 3rd should be High Road Day. And they was like, yeah, just put people on, play some High Road, wear your High Road shirts, burn one, you know, etc. And Casual was like, that's a good game. You know, we should do this. We throw a block party. And we threw a block party. 5,000 people came. You know, it was the block was locked down. It was cats dancing on, you know, fire engines and stuff, right? You know, town shit, right? You know,
right on San Pablo, right?
We ain't listening to the movie, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it just has grown since then. So that was 2012, right? So this is 10 years later. I think this year we're hoping to do it as big as possible. And we got some names that I think are going to be exciting when we announce. We got about 197 days now or something like that, 193 days. So we're going to announce soon. We just didn't understand what the world situation would be like. But it's grown to be, it's the biggest hip hop festival. It might be the biggest festival in Oakland. I mean, I guess Rolling Loud might take that cake, but is that an Oakland festival? You know, like we got, you know, we've been putting cats on for a long time. You know, Kaylani's first big show. You know what I mean? You know, Larry June came. You know, like we've been putting it on, not just for the big names, but for the locals. You know, and when we say locals, man, I'll stop after this. Oakland, California, the Bay Area, because look, Frisco's having a crazy year right now, right? They finally like, look, y'all been, we are the city, y'all are the town, you know. They've been having a crazy year, but we are like a vortex, like we were a special place on Earth, you know. Like this is where the Panthers is from, this is where the hippies is from, the women's movement, Bruce Lee. You see what I'm like? The whole world is always watching. When I go other places. I'm talking about Finland cats. It's like, have you met E40? You know, like, I'm talking about the whitest of white cats.
Wow.
Literally, have you met E40? Da 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 da. We got this strain. We call it turtle. Like how, you know what I'm saying though. Like how we call it broccoli. Like how we do. You know,
Right, how he
like
say.
it's a whole. So the whole world is watching, and I don't even know where I'm going with this. But what I was saying was, we set a tone, and I think that people are starting to realize it. You know what I'm saying? When the Butcher and Conway came out there and they're like, I love Oakland. It's like I'm from here, you know? Mm-hmm. Or we did a show in at the place, the first New Parish, and Lord Finesse and Dwelle was there. Just like, oh, we just came out here to blow and watch the Warriors game, and we heard y'all.
Hey, you know the biggest crazy situation that I saw at Hyro Day? Y'all had Yuck Mouth featuring P Rock.
Yeah, but
performing together.
That's the Hyro Dayest thing ever, right? We got Yuck Mouth, a general, you know, a boss in his own right. And then we got P Rock, one of the illest, if not the illest producers, and they doing music together for our hometown crowd. That hasn't happened other places.
Right.
You know?
And that was on one stage. Griselda was on the other stage.
Yep.
And
Sugar Free was there, I think.
Jay Stalin was there.
Yeah, Stalin.
Black Jesus was there. The
yeah,
comedian.
but he was there, you know, blessing fools, you know, turning water to Hennessy and shit, you know.
Right.
So I think that's the best part about Hyro Day, right? It's random, but it's not random, right? It's carefully curated, but it's curated in a way that I think it's something for everybody without it seeming schizophrenic.
I was just going too much into it, do y'all make money off Hyro Day? Does it make money? Or is it just...
It has a couple years, but usually it's a loss just because ticket pricing, cost of police protect, you know, all these things, they're not squeezing us. Thank you to OPD for actually allowing this to happen. I ain't go there.
So is it more of a marketing thing? Are you guys doing with Dr. No, I'm saying, are you doing what Dr. Dre did for the Super Bowl, where he put up his extra $7 million and now he on the billboards without having a new record, where he basically forward marketed old stuff and now he's at the top of the game because he put his money forward? Is that something that Hyro's doing?
It's for the town, man.
So it's just strictly for the love of the art.
It's because it ain't no festival at the lake. You know what I'm saying? To keep it a buck. It's because it ain't no festival at the lake, right? We fucked that up. I saw it happen. I was there. Right. I was like, damn, you gonna throw that bottle? Damn, bro. Okay, which way we running? Okay, right. You know what I'm saying? No, like so. Right. That's the reason why it exists. It's for the town.
So it's basically festival at the lake, Kerry Jama 2.
Exactly, exactly. Festival at the Lake / Kerry Jama. Exactly. You know, we even think about getting a reggae stage coming soon too, so we can have some island music and some, you know, African music, etc. But I mean, it would be great to make money, but I mean, the model is there, so it's possible. It's just, I think a lot of these big things, they're sponsored by big corporations, and I don't have no problem with that as long as they don't meddle with our mix, you know, with our sauce. Yeah, but a lot of them have their own agenda, you know, with a lot of time, and I'm just like, nah, we can't do that, you know? So I think that it could be bigger, and I think it could be more profitable if we figured out a way to balance dealing with a little bit of corporate help or whatever, sponsorship, and bringing in artists that I think people will pay for a premium ticket experience. It's crazy because they'll pay $300-$400 for Coachella or Rolling Loud. We, you know, our tickets start at $19.93, you know, and the VIPs is like, you know, like $200 or something, $193 or something like that. And cats be really like, T, bruh. And I'm just like, what? We just blew, you know, $200 blunt. Come on. Like, you know, come on.
But you know what it is? I think it's the status of it. If you got to pay $5 to get in, you're not the man. So you get in free.
It's all, and that's all love too. Like we said, it's for the town, right? But we doing the whole Hyro Day weekend festivities, the 3-on-3, the comedy, you know, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to really make it happen. So, you know, kickoff party, all these things, so that you was at the kickoff party last year, right? Yeah, mellow, cool, right? I mean, COVID and fuck shit, mess things up. You know, I'm trying to grow up. I'm trying to grow up right now on camera. I'm trying to grow up, right? COVID to mess things up, but you came through, right? Low key, chilling. My daughter spinning, Breakbeat Lou spinning. You know, live, the simulcast and everything. Right. But we want to make it still feel like a family affair, even when we blow it out the water. I think this year we about to blow it out the water, so hopefully everybody get ready. We just in talks with cats. It's a weird time right now, right? Some people really, you know, a lot of the people that we're into are like have health concerns about the COVID and all these different things, or just because they haven't been working for 2 years, their prices are so astronomically high, and we want to make a ticket that's affordable. You know, access is everything. Like
true.
the reason why I have anything right now is because of the access that I've had by, you know, education, me being exposed to certain things, and by a lot of times by music, because I was able to walk through certain doors because I had a hit song or something that I don't think most niggas off the deuce, you feel what I'm saying? No, could even do. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I be just bugging out, like, bro, I was from 82nd. You know what I'm saying? No, and I'm
Well,
this
hold
is,
on.
This
I
is wild.
I gotta pull something I don't think I ever talked to you about. I got it from one of your partners, but you was actually there during the birth of the West Coast. From what I hear, you, Dale, and A Plus was actually in Ice Cube's studio when he broke away from NWA.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all actually played a part in Ice Cube's first 2 records. Is that true?
Dale wrote for Ice Cube on the first couple. Dale is in the Lynch Mob.
So when he broke away from NWA, you was there.
Yeah.
What was going on, man? Tell us what was going on when you, Dale, and A Plus got in the car to go to Ice Cube house.
Oh no, I don't know if we was physically there right then, but we was definitely.
I'm not saying that day, but I'm saying what kind of energy was around? Because I mean, hip hop was more of an East Coast thing. We had a little bit going on, and NWA was the cornerstone.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Let's start like this. Excuse my language. Cube was that nigga, man. Like,
right.
We could talk Pac all day. We can talk Scarface all day. No Ice Cube, no Scarface, no Pac.
You right.
Period. Cube was so much that nigga. He had nigga on his hat, and everybody was like, yeah, because he's that. You know what I'm saying? A bitch killer on his hat. Niggas was like, yeah. Like, wait, maybe. Nah, yeah. You feel me? So Cube was when he stepped away, and then he decided to go to the East Coast to make records with the Bomb Squad and Public Enemy, and this before he had got the quote unquote knowledge and all that kind of stuff, and you know, Death Certificate was maybe the record where he was really talking some real serious stuff. Always political, like Fuck the Police is a political record, right? True. It's not a gangster record, it's a political record, right? Young nigga got it bad because I'm brown. That's the first line. Right? Coming straight from the underground. Fuck the police, coming straight from the underground. Young nigga got it bad because I'm brown.
Right.
And he wasn't talking about underground rap. He was talking about below. You know what I'm saying? The streets, whatever you want to call it. Like, not the mainstream. So, always political, but I think when he went and got up with Chuck D and all them in the Bomb Squad, his music, not to take anything away from Dre, right? NWA's first album, all that first stuff is a masterpiece. NWA's second, that Niggas for Life album, come on now. I was definitely riding around knocking that shit, even though I wasn't supposed to. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. As a kid and as the Cube, so, you know, I'm on the Cube team, right? But so when he stepped away, I think he stepped into the unknown, but he was that nigga. Like Ice Cube first album, do you know, like that you know, I mean, niggas decided to just quit school and become gangsters that day, like, you know, as soon as they hear what's the first, fuck you, Ice Cube, they're like, yeah, the nigga you love to hate,
right?
They're like, that's me, that's me, you know, like, so I don't think it was a tough. He didn't have no fear. I mean, but look at Cube now.
But I'm saying, even behind the scenes, y'all knew him before he was the Superman. Did he have the confidence when y'all came in the studio? Was he the Cube that we thought he was?
Cube is funny as shit, dude. Cube is funny. Obviously, we know now, right?
Right.
But he was, you know, back in the day, he has a scary look, right? He got them eyebrows, right? That's his natural look is a mean mug, right? So we met him at, you know, it's Dell Cousins, so he capping on him, and you know who ride all that shit. So it was like we didn't, you know what I'm saying? No, confidence of, you know, capping is probably where the dozens is where rap come from.
Right.
So you build your confidence through talking shit, right?
Right.
And he was a major shit talker. But also, but I mean, I've heard Ice Cube demos. I heard the stuff from when he was in CIA, all that kind of stuff. Actually, Ice Cube was going to be an architect. You know, so it somewhere in my DNA that occurs too. Like he was going to go. I think he started college to go into the architecture program.
Wow.
And then stepped away because he became Ice Cube.
But you say that Dale and Ice Cube is cousins, and I know that they cousins, same family.
Yeah, first cousins.
First cousins.
Yeah.
People would not consider Dale and Ice Cube in the same house hanging out, because Dale has like skateboard, mushroom, underground culture of hip hop, the more artistic aspect, and then Ice Cube is the streets, the controversy, the FBI sending warnings and trying to threaten the record company behind what Cube is saying. I mean, did you not see that dichotomy, even though you was brought up around?
So we're inside of it, right? And then you got to think about it like this. I got cousins that are doctors. I got cousins that are in the pen. Same family. First cousins. Not my cousin's daughter. Not first cousins. Literally cousins that are, on their way to being millionaires. And cousins that, I'm like, these walking horse packages is beating my ass, doggy. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, can you call somebody else for this one this month? Right. You know what I'm saying? Or this quarter, So I think as African Americans, or whatever you want to call us, Africans in America, how far are any of us from like being all the way in the streets? How far is any American, right? 80% of Americans one check away from having to make you lay it down if they were going to survive, right? So it's not, but I think there's not really a dichotomy, right? Everybody got a crazy weirdo cousin. It's probably their favorite cousin, but your mom won't let you spend the night over there because this nigga probably gonna be doing drugs or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got their other cousin that he come in and rub your head and shit and dip right back out after you run in his room and go get a big ass thumper. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
same household.
It's same household even, right? They might even be brothers.
Right.
You feel me? So it never was weird like that. I think that's just part of the black experience. It's the same with, I think we used to color differences, hair texture, all these things that diversity and all, like our whole families be diverse. Your grandma might be light skinned, your grandpa hella dark, you come out one color, your sister might have green eyes and be chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things is in one nuclear family, right?
Right.
So it wasn't a dichotomy. I think that's more the industry
doing that.
Doing that, right? I think everybody got a cousin that's like old school Cube. And then also, let's put it this way: Cube is a jokester. Dell is a jokester. Dell could be a stand-up comedian. Cube could be a stand. I mean, he makes comedy movies that he writes.
Right.
He ain't just in them. He writes them.
Right.
So they're not really that different, And when they are together, it's family vibes. It don't even be no rap shit. It'd be all family, like regular shit. And that's how we were kids coming up around this. So we Dell little brothers,
But people don't even know that some of y'all in High Road been together since first grade.
Kindergarten.
Who was
Me, Casual, and A+ been in school since kindergarten. Miss Fransman's class. What is that? Miss Fransman's class, Howard Elementary. On the hill.
So you knew these dudes your whole life.
Whole life. I can pull up pictures of me not even being able to write, putting John under Casual and Adam over, all like written bad handwriting, in pen because I didn't know that shit wouldn't come off.
That's dope.
Yeah. No, man, having a good circle and a solid circle, like that's a blessing.
What is the key to that? Because I know with 10 dudes, y'all gotta have issues at certain times. What is the key to keeping 10 dudes for life together?
Excuse me. The basis of our bond is love. It's not hip hop. It's not even that we all from 82nd. You know what I'm saying though? And that's a good enough basis a lot of times, right? True. Like, look, we from over here, niggas can't come over here. We about to, this is us, Mm-hmm. But I think as we grew and expanded and traveled and we had these experiences together, the love grows more, right? And then on top of that, we all into hip hop and we successful at it and we all talented at it and help build each other up. Like the respect that you had, like Casual saying, hey, bruh, you should buy this. It's $700 or 70, either 70 or 700. Put 100 bands on it. I'm telling you, you're gonna be straight, right? And that game could have got me 10, 20 M's. That's real. You feel what I'm saying? though? That's real love. Cause he could have kept that to himself and just been like, nigga, when I come through in the Rari, these niggas ain't finna say shit. You feel?
Right. He shared his game.
Yeah. And it wasn't to impress me with his knowledge. He was literally like
trying to build his brother.
Yeah, I see you doing this. Well, do that. You know what I'm saying? And because some of this was dangerous too. You feel me? So I don't talk too much. Anyways, like,
are you good?
Yeah, that love is cultivated through experiences and showing love to each other. And we all been down bad and things, go through shit and had interactions that were less than ideal with each other. But the basis, I'm talking about with things out.
Yeah.
These and those. You feel what I'm saying? No pokey things, smoky things, all the things. You feel what I'm saying? though? Like that's not, and I'm not, I'm not trying to reveal too much. Right. But what I'm saying is not just regular
Right.
less than ideal interactions.
Right.
Interactions where it'd be like, hey, bro, this ain't it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying, though?
Right.
This is your brother. The same way brothers in a family will have that same thing. You're not about to be beating up on me just because you bigger, dog.
Me and Roy was just talking
you know what I'm saying?
about
Though?
that,
Like, you're not about to be beating up on me because you bigger. I don't care what you're doing out there. I know you. I know you.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is not going to happen again. And I'm going to make sure it's not going to happen again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Though? So we've been through all that. But even in those times when cat's been on the ledge, on the precipice of making mistakes that will change everybody's life forever, the love, it's a glimmer. You see something, it's like when you see a crazy person and you be like, not today, doggy. And they be like,
And you see right.
I feel you. I'm going to go this other way. Right? So that glimmer, that's the love that brings it back. And I think we're in a wonderful place right now. We all good, interacting. It's been difficult with COVID because we got families and we got our kids is in school. We got to make sure that they safe and protected first and foremost. So we can't be doing it how we do it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that has only made it so the fondness grows because we like, damn, I ain't been with my dogs in a sprinter. You know what I'm saying, though?
A long time.
Talking shit about these rappers in a long time. You know what I'm saying, though? I ain't even had it. I don't even know if they've heard this project.
Well, I was going to ask you, last question. How has the pandemic affected your rap career?
I've done 4 shows in 3 years.
4 shows.
Yeah.
That's it. And
4.
you was doing what? 4 shows in a week, 2 weeks?
100 a year minimum.
100 a year minimum. Now you in 4 in 2 years.
Yeah. So I mean, we talk about. I'll put it this way: I've made more money off architecture than I've ever made off rap in a year. Right. So that it helped me understand that there are other ways to get your paper, and you don't just got to rely upon rapping in front of people for money. But I mean, from a financial perspective, it's probably a ticket that has not. I'm saying amongst us, more than a ticket, that we have not partaken in at this point.
Right.
So we've had to become resourceful on how we do things, and I mean, we created a metaverse, Hyro VR. Have you seen that? That we got a whole metaverse. Man, you need to build all this in the metaverse and host your show in there. We had a metaverse before Facebook. We've had a metaverse almost 2 years now, and it's free for everybody. It's HyroVR.com, free. You can build whatever you want to in there. This is how we move, though. You feel what I'm saying, though? Like Hyro Day started free. The only reason it's not is because we got to cover the acts cost money, But we started that so we could interact in a more real way than telephone and all that kind of stuff. We unveiled the coin. We made the building a resource for everybody to do their little Twitch streams or whatever they want to do. But we just try to observe. Space and all that. I filmed the Rap Noir movie in there. Everybody was masked up, and the director was doing it via satellite and shit.
Wow.
Studio was there. Fools will go in there, leave a little gift, like bust on something, be like, bro, put a chorus on this. So we interacting in the ways we can, but it's definitely been tough for all musicians as far as touring, right? Because you just can't. We can't, and we get into the age where we have probably got comorbidities. Niggas blow, niggas eat too much sugar. Right. You know what I'm saying? Though fools might be lightweight on the diabetic spectrum and all these things. So we're not trying to take no chances. You know what I'm saying? Though, like cats come off tour sometimes sick, and then you come home to your babies. They sick. They can't go to school. Now you ain't been home. You get home now. Everybody home. Your lady wants to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So we decided not to take any of those chances. Casual been out on his RV. He takes his kids to school and deals with them, but everybody been kind of dealing with their different family pods. I teach Festo's kids jujitsu, but even in jujitsu, we masked up.
Last but not least, what do you think about the murder of Zumbi?
Oh,
in
man.
Alta Bates Hospital in August 13th, 2021. Zion, some people know him as Zumbi, one half of Zion. Steve Gaines is his government name. And I know that he, was associated a lot with Hyro.
Yeah, we did the memorial at the Hyro building.
And then he was also at the first Hyro Day.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think about that situation?
I'm going to say this. I am going to hold my anger in the hopes that, and I'm not a sucker. I don't believe in the system. You feel what I'm saying? I would have to be insane. But in the hopes that at least there is sufficient evidence that gets his kids their paper. because that's the most that can be. You see what I'm saying, though?
Well, let me just tell you, because I've been doing research on it and I've been writing about it. I believe that the settlement is on course. But what I will argue is if we would have put together a street movement, there were certain people on that side of the line that didn't want that to happen in the time, we could have got more money.
My thing is that might still have to happen. You know, we don't know. Like, but I would hope that, you know, and I can't speak on nobody else's family situation, right?
Let me ask you, do you think this is just a family situation? I mean, Oscar Grant wasn't just a family situation. He was a black man that got murdered. That could be me, that could be you. That doesn't have anything to do with just the families. I fought in the Oscar Grant movement. I didn't know him, but because it could have happened to me. It could have happened to my peoples. So let me ask you, because some people are like, well, it's a family issue. And
I'm not
family.
saying, I wasn't saying it like that. Like, it's just a family issue. Steve is he our family too. I'm just trying to, you know, from an inside perspective, respect what they're trying to do. But if what they're trying to do don't work out how it should, I'll tear this bitch up, dude.
Say no more.
You might have to mute that. You might have to bleep that.
We ended on that. Tajay, Hieroglyphics, the legendary entrepreneur, Souls of Mischief, Cali Baba, Hyro Coin, Hyro Day, Rap Noir, Clear Label, and that's just some of them. The architecture firm. Thank you for coming, man.
I appreciate you, man. Always, my
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Always. Appreciate you.
We out.
Hey, what's up? It's Tajay from the Mighty Souls of Mischief crew. Hieroglyphics in full effect right now. I'm chilling with my man JR on the Ministry of Information podcast. Tune in, baby.